Hi everyone. Today we're going to be playing a card game called Sylvion. I'm going to do a quick little review and a setup on how to play and all that stuff. So, I'm playing solo. And anyway, what you first do is that you're going to be going through, this is all the same deck, but you're going to be going through these Ravage cards and these Sylvan cards. And you're going to be looking for, grab these cards really quick. You're going to look for every card that has an A on the bottom right, or this fire guy. And you're going to go through those two decks, and you're going to try to find, you're going to find all those cards and remove them, because this is the introduction. So once you've removed all those cards from this deck and this deck, put the Sylvan cards in a pile close to you so you can grab them, and then make 4 piles, shown here, of 12, the Ravage deck. So once you've got rid of all those cards, Sylvan deck, and then 4 piles of 12 of the Ravage cards. And this is your edge cards. They're double-sided, so as you're playing and getting hit by fire, you're flipping them over when they're burnt, and if you survive a round, you can flip them over. So basically, if you flip all of them over to the non-burnt side, then you win. If they burn all your trees, you lose. But anyway, so that's your edge cards. So you're putting 4 on top, 4 on the side, 4 on the bottom. Obviously 4 burnt, 2 burnt on the side, non-burnt, 2 non-burnt, and then 4 non-burnt on top. Anyway, basically you should have this set up right here. Oh yeah, on the right is also, these are the Blaze cards, and I'll tell you more about that, but I put them in a pile. These are all 2s, these are all the 3s, and each on the back of both these cards is the 4. So the flames pick up and get stronger, and that's the Blaze cards. So anyway, that's the setup. So what you do, start of the turn, is you're drawing 8 cards at the beginning of the game. And after that, you'll be only drawing 3. I'm running out of room here. That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so once you got your 8 cards, what you do is you look through. Oh, exactly. So basically, I always look through to see if I can find a card. This card, this is an animal card. This is an animal card. That's an animal card. That's an animal card. Basically, your little action cards. Anyway, this card can only be played at this part of the turn. So, if I didn't have this card, I wouldn't be playing anything. What you do is you go over here and you're flipping these cards over. The Ravage deck. Flip 1 from each pile over, like so. So this is the first step of playing. And what you do, how to resolve these cards, if none of these little action cards, if none of them get revealed, then you just move each one of these one. But what you do, if there's action cards, like this, there is on the top right, it has a letter. A would go first, B, C, and then D. So for this is the C. So this card will be going first. So what this does, this is a Blaze card. If you have multiple ones, let's just say if I got 3, you'd still be act like it's just one card, because you can't blaze multiple times. You only blaze just once. So, but anyway, I only have 1 anyway. So I'm gonna resolve this because it has the letter C, and this is gonna be my discard pile. It's kind of confusing, but this is my discard. Okay, so I'm gonna discard that, and I'm gonna resolve it. So what this means is every time it's a blaze, you basically go up 1. So this would be, so I'm just gonna discard that, technically not discarding it because you're just going to be replacing it with the Blaze 2. And you can't blaze them again. So once they're blazed, you don't keep on increasing. So that went to Blaze 2. This would be a Blaze 4. So you go to that deck and I flip it over and there's a 4. That's the strongest it can go. And that's all the cards. If there was more out here, you would be affecting them too. It's not just on the deck. So if I had, this guy was out here, he'd be another 4 I'd have to deal with. There's not. So you just resolve any cards that are out that's yellow. Once they're blazed, you don't mess with them again. Anyway, so after that, I'm going to the D now. What this means is you push forward 1 extra move. Originally, you just move them 1 column over at a time, but this one's going to say you have 1 extra, so it's going to be moving over 2 columns. So, the only thing on the board is these. So what you do, I have to reposition my hand because I'm about to drop my camera. What you do is I'm going to be moving 1 extra turn, so that'll be 2 turns. So there's 1, 2. See, it stays in these columns. Same with this guy. So they're jumping. What they're doing is they're trying to hit this side, and when they do that, it's going to create damage. And it's, if this guy makes it all the way to the end, he's going to be hitting for 4. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be losing 4. But if you go through all these cards, and you have some trees, which I'll explain in a second. You have some trees, then every tree that you have that didn't get burnt can be added to that. And anyway, I'll get more than a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, so back to this. So I solved all those cards. I moved, and now it's time for my turn. Since this is the start, I already have it. Usually you draw 3 at this point, 3 cards, but I already drew my starting hand. And you can't have over 10 cards. If you do, you have to discard until you have at least 10 cards in your hand. At most 10 cards. Anyway, so this is since I already have my starting hand, I don't draw right now. And anyway, I forgot to tell you, I could have used this, because you can only use this card when you're drawing. When you're flipping these cards over, let's just say this is the next turn. If I flip this over, good example, and I didn't want this to happen, then this card can only be used at this time, and you can knock this card out, like right off the bat, before any of the actions occur. So if I didn't want that blaze to happen, I could have knocked out that blaze card. That's what I probably should have done. I probably should have knocked out that blaze card so it didn't advance that, but I also wanted to show you guys. So anyway, you can only use that card during the Ravage attack, I guess you want to call it. But I'll bet you I'll use that next time. So, you can't use this card. So what you do at this point of time is you're trying to... This is a good card. What you're trying to do is lay these out, and what these do is these help you put out the fire. So when they move onto it, if this number is greater than this number, it puts it out. If it's equal, it puts it out, but it also gets rid of it. So if that card is there, and on that next turn it moves, it gets put out, but it'll also destroy that. So kind of the bad side. But if it was here, this would move on to this. Of course, the 4 is greater than the 2, so he'll be put out. So I probably want to put that card out, probably up there. So what we do in this situation is, anytime you want to play a card, you look at the top left. So if I wanted to play this card, I'd have to discard a card. So I'm going to discard these trees. You don't need until the end, because like they're going to give you see down here it says 4. So then I can 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll give you 4 more trees basically. So you don't need them right now, because there's a lot of cards that you're going to be dealing with. I usually use these for discards till closer to the end of the round. Anyway, so I'm going to discard this. So we'll go over here and discard it. When I discard that, I can choose to play anything with a 1. So I could just play that. I could. Well, those don't cost anything. But actually, I'm gonna play this. So what this does, so I discarded that. Discard 1 card to play. I get 3 more cards. Remember, I can't succeed past 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 cards. I'm okay. So now, once we do that, oh, weird. I'm actually going to use this card, So I'm going to discard 1, 2, and I'll discard this card, 3. So I just discarded 3 to play this. I need to discard 3. And I'm going to put this right there. So my next turn, he's going to be going on that and getting put out. Okay, and that's what else we got. We have, so basically these cards are being placed to put out fires. And then these ones are just action cards, like, you know, use now. Anyway, oh, except for this one. Anyway, oh, I dropped my tree. Now, since I discarded 3 to get that one. Now, next step is I'm gonna use this. This is like a cannon. It makes me basically destroy any card on the table. So to use it, I need to discard 1 card. I'm gonna discard this, and I'm gonna use this, and it's gonna blow that out. Gone. So you're trying to keep this down, so we don't want to burn our forest down. Next, I could use this card. What this card does, it allows you to move it 3 spaces. So let's say if this card was here, I can go 1, 2, 3 and put him out. But I don't need to do that because on the next turn, he's going to go there and get put out anyway. So I'm going to save that. This card, I could just, it's worth 0, so you can use it anytime. So I could just put it down, but I'm not going to because I might use it for a discard. So anyway, so that was the first turn. So then, after that, that's what you're doing. You go back here and you're flipping all these cards over. See what happens. Okay, good, no blaze. Also, if you get a blaze card, if you get, let's say if I would have gotten this card right here, now this 0 would have turned into a 4. All zeros turn into 4. So zeros are kind of, they don't do anything until that card comes out, and then they end up being really bad. So anyway, back to resolving what's going on. So now I'm going to show you just an example. This card can only be played at this time. So I just drew my cards, my Ravage Coats, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to knock out this card. And you can also knock out these ones too if you want. But I usually target the flaming cards mostly. But just for example, I'm going to target this one. So I'm going to knock this out so I don't have to move 1 extra space. So that's all the action cards for that. So now what you do is you move. Actually, I start with stuff on the table first. So I'm going to move him 1 because that's just the only action they have. And then he gets put out because he's a 2 and that's a 4. He is put out. And all these other guys are moved forward 1 space. Okay, now you get to draw 3 more cards. After the Ravage cards go, it's your turn. Anyway, draw 3, and look to see what we got. Let's see. We have this guy again. And what we'll do, and if I wanted to play a tree, let's say it was towards the end, and I wanted to play a tree, I could discard, a card, whatever. Say I discard that. I need to discard 1 card. And I did. And you can place this anywhere where there's an open spot. But if I place it here, and then on the next turn he comes, because they're 0 damage, so even that zero card can kill him. So anyway, the next turn it would hit it and burn it up. So you definitely want to place them behind a good strong defense so they don't get burnt. So you can use these. So the 2 would go. So I'd flip over these 2 if that was the end of the game or end of the round. So I could put that down, but you know it's too early. There's a lot of cards to go through. A lot of stuff's gonna be happening. A lot of flame is gonna happen. Anyway, so I'm probably not gonna put any trees down right now. I need more to defense. So anyway, back to this. So I'm actually gonna use this tree, discard it because I don't need it right now. And I'm gonna play this, and it's 3 cards. 1, 2, and then 3. Again, what you're doing, let's try to build up your defense. So I'm gonna discard these 2. 1, 2. Discarding 2 cards. Discard 2 cards to play this, and that's a 3 defense. So I'm actually gonna put it up. Maybe I'll put it here. If I get a blaze card next turn, I'll do one more turn. If I get a blaze card, that's gonna turn into a 4 and just smoke this. And if this is greater than this, then they'll just burn right through it. They won't even block it, so that's not good. So anyway, I put my defense guy there, and then I look. Oh, that's right. I can play this. Unless I want to. Do I want to? See, this is a hard decision. Do I want to play this? I kind of want to discard these 2 to put this defense down. But I feel like if I get a blaze card, that's going to turn into a 4, and that's going to be hard to knock out before it gets to the end. So I'm going to use this so I can show you guys what this does. So as explained before, it costs 0 to use, 0 discards to use, so basically free to use. I can move any of those cards 3 spaces. I'm going to move this guy, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 is greater than the 0, so he gets put out. And that's all I can do. I mean, I could put this 0 out. There's only 1 defense. It's kind of lame. Sometimes they're useful, but I'm not going to put that out. So I'm going to keep these 2 cards. And then you go over here again. So that's the end of the turn. You flip these over. 1, 2. Oh, I don't know why I'm counting. It's a force of habit with games, I guess. Alright, so you flip those cards over and resolve them. So again, you do blaze cards first. Or sorry, that's right, you gotta look on the top right. So D, C. C goes first. C is before D. Anyway. So we remove it. Solve it. And if there was another one, like I said, if there's another blaze card, you don't resolve more than 1. You can't. So once they're blazed, they're blazed. You can't. So these are all blazed. You can only just do it once. Anyway, so you discard that, solve it, and if there's another one, you just discard it. But there's not. So anyway, discard this card, and then you go through, and they're blazed. So that 1 turns into a 2. See, good thing I got rid of that 0, because that would have been a 4. See? So that was good. And I didn't have. Where's that card? If I would have had the hedgehogs, I could have knocked out that blaze card, but I don't. So anyway, back to this. So this turns into a 2. Basically replace it. It's like the wind picks up and makes them stronger, basically. So to solve that. Oh look, an extra turn. Plus, these ones do add up. So that would be 3 of movement. So then I resolved all the action cards for the Ravaged decks. And now moving 3 spaces. Well, guess what? This one can only move 1 because he gets put out. 3 beats the 2. Now these ones, 1, 2 gets put out. 1, 2, 3 gets put out. So that's basically the game. Is that you're building up your defense to try to keep the flames down because it can get bad quick. Trust me. And anyway, again, you draw 3. I'll do one more little example. 2, 3, and you feel like you have a strong enough defense. At any time you feel like you have a strong enough defense, I would start adding trees. That's basically the point. Anyway, so that's basically the game. And if you have any more questions, you let me know. It's a quick game. It takes about 20-30 minutes to play because it could end bad fast. So, I mean, you can just get wiped out like right off the bat. I've had it happen. Just a bunch of zeros and a blaze card happens, and then all of a sudden you have 4 or 3 4s coming at you, and you don't have any defenses, and you just get smoked. So anyway, that is Sylvion, the card game. Anyway, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Don't be scared to ask. All right, thanks for watching.